Yes, good morning, everybody. Just want to kind of welcome everybody to week 6 and how we're quickly wrapping up this course and coming down to the home stretch. I've got a couple of things that I'm going to just the housekeeping notes first. Just for those that we're going to wrap up discussions this week. This will be the last week we'll have discussions. Moving into next week, we're pretty much finished with those. And we'll move into so you can spend your time working on the OB paper. Also next week, we'll wrap up the MindTap as we go forward here. So by the end of next week in week 7, you should have everything completed and brought back up to speed. So predominantly anything that's outstanding that you've gotten that you're missing in the gradebook area should be wrapped up by the end of next week, which would be June 20th. So on the Sunday, June 20th. So just as a reminder, we want to go ahead and make sure we get any of those outstanding things like MindTap. If you missed a discussion or something, I don't think anybody did, but if you did, and you wanted to make up the original post, you could, but that also would have to be done by June 20th. So everything wraps up kind of the end of June by June 20th. So that way, when you post the OB paper, so that way I can go ahead and make sure everything's in line to grade. So you're really only doing in the last week the final exam. So as we go forward here in week 6, I will let you know that I'm going to be definitely in and out of the office this week. And I am traveling starting today for a couple of days, and then I'll be again out a little bit on Friday and Saturday this week. But I will still comment on the discussions and everything probably early Saturday morning. And I'm traveling again early next week to come back to where I'm at. But responses to emails will still happen, just probably early morning or late evening before I can get to those and actually get to my computer and work on those. So grading and everything, I'm going to try to wrap up your individual portions pretty quickly over the next couple of days. So you guys still have ample time to make those adjustments before the weekend. So getting on to the team portion of this for this week, you'll have here is you've got each one of you has the individual has completed an individual case study basically. So now as a group, and since you've all worked on the same case study, now you're going to kind of put your heads together with what you found through the research and the rest of that and present a combined front. Okay. So what you're going to come by and do is basically take the individual portions that you guys have done, pick out the fine points of all 3 of those in kind of combine the front part of that and the problems and the rest of that, because sometimes you find different problems, so people look at things differently. So you're going to want to go ahead and summarize that. So when we get down here to the baseline, the problem definition, you're combining the 3 parts of your paper and kind of picking out those details to be able to pull those together for your combined paper. And then obviously then you're going to get down to your courses of action. Now remember, these courses of action are actually probably about 60 to 75% of your paper, okay, of the team paper, because you should be explaining in great detail what your solutions are, why you found them, and also in referring back to those documents that you found in your research for your individual case. You also, so you got possible courses of action. So whatever you guys may have all looked at this differently in each of your groups, but now come together and say, okay, these were all our possible courses of action. Now we're going to make this one our recommendation. Okay. And then form that recommendation into a couple of goals and some action items that would actually come speaking to that. Okay, to that whole, to the situation that you're trying to recommend some solutions for as a consultant. So, so your first part of your paper should be, a couple pages in length here, maybe 2, 3 at the most. then your action problems here, your action problems should be probably about 3 to 4 pages. And then your articles would be just attached, your article summaries from each one of you. So you would have a total of 6 articles that each one of you have put together. So they also should be in your references, as well as the summaries actually attached to the document. So as you go through here, you should, if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to me, but I think that'll cover most everything for the team part of it. One last part, posting this. Okay, so posting for this, each one of you will need to post the team document. Okay, so all 3 members will post the combined team document in the Dropbox that's here. Okay, so that way I can generate a grade, and there's documentation from the actual group itself. So once again, feel free to go ahead and actually notate that, and note to really take note that you definitely need to, each person has to post the combined paper. And like I said, if you need anything, feel free to reach out. Just know that probably during the day portion, I might not be as available. The email still goes to my phone, so I'll definitely get those either early in the morning or later in the evening. But I will definitely be getting back to you within 24 hours. I just wanted to make sure. I know I'm usually a lot quicker than that, but in this case, I'll definitely need to extend that out a little bit. All right, I hope everybody has a great week finishing up these aspects, and then we're on to the paper and slowly headed right into the final portion of the course. All right, look forward to seeing your team recommendations on these cases. Hey, everybody have a great week.